Welcome back, dear students. Now we have been discussing the fourth chapter of the unit 2, that is work ethics, and we have already discussed all the general principles involved in work ethics. Now let us come to few specific points or few specific subtopics as prescribed in your syllabi. Let me repeat that you should always listen to the video lecture by first reading the text. If you do not read the text, you will not be in a position to fully appreciate what I talk in the video lecture. So, please, if you have not yet read, please read the text and then listen to this video lecture. That is very important. Now, punctuality, we have already introduced what is punctuality. Punctuality is based on respect for your time and that of others. Punctuality is fundamentally respecting your own time and time of others. I have given you the example, if the teacher comes 10 minutes late to the class and if there are 30 students, it means that 310 minutes are lost. 30 into 10 minutes is 300 plus your 10 minutes. So, 310 minutes have been lost. That is how loss of man hour, loss of working hour is calculated. So, you can imagine that this is not correct. You must learn to respect your own time and the time of others. The second is, to be punctual, one has to be organized. How to be punctual? Let us come to the practical nitty-gritties. How to be punctual? One has to be organized, dependable, professional. One should respect one's time and that of others. Now, let us break these up and all that. Being organized. Now, as a student or even as an officer or as a teacher, we have all to organize the time. Suppose look at me in this class. I have a PPT. I have to cover all these in a specific time, say 45 minutes or 1 hour. Whatever is I have planned, if I have not planned it earlier, then time management becomes difficult. You see, 40 years I have been teaching. Now it is actually my 42nd years in teaching. And for a long period, even today when I go to a face-to-face class, I hardly use my PPT. Why? Because if necessary, I will take 5-10 extra classes in the college. There is no problem. Particularly in the college it may be difficult. I have been mostly teaching at the university. So, there you have more flexible schedule and you can easily organize extra classes. So, if I have planned that this must be taught in 4 hours, if it takes 6 hours, I will get 2 hours extra. But if when I am taking a video lecture, I cannot get that extra hour because the studio is booked. So many other people have to give video lectures, they have to record. So, they have limited time. So, whatever time is allotted to me, I have to try my best to cover that in that time. So, unless I am organized, I cannot do that. So, that is why for the first time in my life, so you can say that I am using a PPT. So, there are why? Because this PPT, this lecture will be not only heard by students, but many teachers who are teaching in the class. Because this course is prescribed across all the universities in Odisha and all over Odisha, all the general university students will be listening to these video lectures and reading the text. So, a kind of uniformity has to be maintained. And for everything, managing the time is necessary. Before I start managing the time, before you start managing your time, you have to make a schedule. Think of a school without a timetable. Suppose there is no timetable in the school and the teachers have no fixed timing, can you think that the school or college can run? It cannot run. So, similarly, you as an individual or me as an individual have to also organize. So, when should I get up? what are the works that I have, how much time I will get for my bathing, when I have to go, all these things, how much time it will take for me to travel from my home to the office or from your home to say the college or school, you have to be organized. So, it is always advisable to prepare a schedule and or organize your time, and if necessary write it down. If you take too flexible an approach, then at the end of the day, whatever you have planned for it, you will not be able to do it. There will be some work which will be left. Now, think of tomorrow, think of the year. So, in the end, not only you should plan your everyday activities, you should have a general schedule for your entire year, is it not? So, that is very much necessary. You have to, management of time is only possible if you are organized. Once you are organized, you become a dependable person, dependable. So, if you have said that I will come, the doctor says that I will come at 5 o'clock in the evening, that means the patients do not come at 5 o'clock and wait for 2 hours. If you do not come at 5 o'clock, the people wait, then they develop the habit, oh, this doctor says 5, but he comes at 7, so let me go at 6. That day you would have come at 5 o'clock. You can imagine how, if you do not schedule your time, if you do not manage your time, then you cannot become a dependable person. You have to be professional. We have discussed what is being professional. Generally professional and specifically professional, is it not? So, suppose you have listed so many cases, you are a judge in a court, you have listed 10 cases for that day morning. You should be able to distribute time with those 10 cases in such a manner that within that day you will be able to listen to all these cases. You have to apportion time, divide time, is it not? So, similarly, as an individual, you have to act professionally. Suppose there is a nurse, so the first dose of say antibiotic injection is to be given at 8 o'clock. The second dose is to be given say at 2 o'clock. That is what the doctor has prescribed. Now, at 8 o'clock you give the injection in right time, but you forget at 2 o'clock. Then the medicine becomes less effective, the patient suffers. If you are a professional nurse, you will not forget. You will be writing down in your duty chart, 8 o'clock, say bed number 107, this injection is to be given. 2 o'clock, same bed number 107, this is to be given. So, you will come and give. If you are not organized, if you are a professional, you will understand the value of time and respect time. And one should respect one's time and that of the others. I have discussed this at the first stage. Busy person has time for everything and a lazy person has none. I have already quoted this earlier in the earlier class. A busy person, he finds time for many things to do, but if you are lazy, then you will procrastinate. Dekha jayega. Oh, I will do it tomorrow, and tomorrow's work is there. So, that is what it is. If you are an organized person, you will find to do many things, time to do many things. If you are a disorganized fellow, if you are a lazy person, then you will find no time to do so many things. Is it not? There are many people who are extremely busy, but they still find time for doing everything. So, that is very important. A busy person has time for everything, a lazy has none. All disorganized person can never manage time. If you are a disorganized person, you can never manage time. Punctuality is not about doing things on time alone. It is basically about respecting your own commitment. I have not given who says this, but this is our former President APJ Kalam. He says, it is just not about doing things in time, coming to the class in time, doctor reaching his chamber timely and all that. That is definitely needed, but it is something more. What it is? It is respecting your commitment. If you have said that I will do this, you have to be committed. Now coming to this class, for recording, I was late by 4 or 5 minutes. What happened? I was at Manivihar Square, I had to go to Saidnagar for my lunch and then come to DDCE Utkal University to record this. Now there was a traffic jam, there was some agitation and my vehicle could not pass through. So I waited up to 1:50. Then I realized that it may not be possible for me to come to this class at 2:30. So what I did, I walked out from my car and walked all the way to Saidnagar and had my lunch, and then I was fortunately my car could come out of the jam with my driver and I could come to DDC again. Otherwise, I had decided that I will again walk to DDC Utkal University for recording this lesson. Why did I walk in sun? It is so hot at 2:30, at 2 o'clock, because I have a commitment. So that is what is called respecting time. You have said, you have planned to do something at a particular time, or you have decided that you will complete this by Falana date. No better can be example from a student's life than from anybody else's life. We are preparing for examination. Once we are preparing for an examination, we have to draw a non-negotiable calendar. Because of the pandemic, the universities have not been able to follow the calendar. But when the examination will happen, when the form fill-up will happen, when the result will come out, all these things have to be predetermined. Otherwise, suppose I am going to pass BA from Utkal University and I aspire to apply to Delhi University for my post graduation. If Utkal University does not publish result in time, then Central University entrance test will be over, I will not have the degree, I would not have passed, I cannot sit for that examination. That means I will miss. So that is very important. Utkal University has committed that by Falana date classes will be over, examination will be conducted and by this date result will be out. That is what is more important. It is just not about our commitment, but commitment of the institutions. Why? Because if they fail to keep the commitment to the institutions, if they fail, then opportunities of the students will die down. Who will suffer? The students will suffer. So that is why it is very important to respect our own commitment, both as organizations and as individuals. Suppose you have given to a tailor a trouser or a full pant to be stitched, and you are a NCC student, your NCC dress needs some adjustment. You have got it from the college, but it is little say loose and you want it to be perfect size. You have given it to a tailor. You will wear it for the 26th January parade. If it does not give you, he said that yes, I will give you on 24th. Then you said, okay, if you give in 24th morning, I will wash it, starch it, then iron it, all these things I will do on 25th, and on 26th morning I will wear this to the parade. Now, if the tailor does not do that, you go on 24th and you find that the tailor shop is closed, and then again you go another 1 hour, 2 hours, then he finally opens and tells you, sorry sir, I am not able to locate your pant which you had given for little adjustment of size and all that. Then what happens? What will you wear on 26th January? Can you understand this? What confusion, what undependable person the tailor is. So that is why it is very important that we are dependable, that if you commit that we will do something by certain date, we understand its importance and we do it by that time. So that is very important. Punctuality is not about doing things on time alone, it is basically about respecting your own commitment. So you have to complete it. As time slips away, opportunities slip away. Time is something which is not in your watch. We think it is in our watch. Watch only shows the time. Watch can be slow, watch can be faster, or all these things can happen. It is not in your watch. So, time will pass away. Whether you like it or not, it is something which you cannot hold. So, many things may come back to you, but not time. Today is say 18th of April 2022. This date 18th of April 2022, now it is going to be 3 o'clock, this will not come back. Once it is gone, it is gone. So, time slips away, and if we do not do what is to be done, then sometime opportunity slips away. I was giving the example. Say your university has said that it will publish the result on 1st May say 2022 or 1st June 2022. Last date of applying for say Delhi University is 15th June. Now, if the 15th June also slips away, time slips away, then what will happen? Your opportunity of going to Delhi will also slip away. Okay. So, that is why it is very important to remember that when time slips away, opportunity also slips away. Suppose you have to apply for a job, Service Selection Board or Staff Selection Board or Odisha Public Service Commission has said Falana is the last date. There is enough time, 45 days are there. I will prepare the application. Then ultimately on the 45th day, you are reminded and you find that you have not got from your college the CLC. CLC is a minimum requirement to be submitted along with the application. Then what happens? Opportunity will go away. You will not be able to do it. Simply will not be able to do it. That is what is very important, that opportunities are always limited in life. This you must have realized by this time, and if you do not respect your own time, if you do not collect everything that is required on time, then you will not be able to apply. So, that is why we say, if just as time slips away, opportunity slips away. That is why time is to be respected, not because it is morally right or your parents, teachers, elders demand that you do so, but being punctual is in your own interest. We have to maintain time because the school teacher says us, or if you are a latecomer, the college teacher or the university teacher refuses to give you attendance. He says, I have already taken attendance. You are not there, you did not respond to attendance. Now I cannot give you attendance. It is not because somebody else is telling you. Time is to be respected in our own interest. If you are punctual, it is helpful to you first, others come later. So, that is very important. Please remember that work ethics demands punctuality, and punctuality is for yourself, because if you are not punctual, you are not dependable. Once people know that you are not dependable, they would not like to give you any responsibility. That is very important. So, being punctual is something which is needed in our own interest. Let us look back at 3 inspiring quotes on time. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. This is what Walt Disney says. You know, Walt Disney, Disney World, you must all be knowing, so many cartoons, these, that you have seen, and now there is in Bombay also, in India also there is a small Disneyland, and he is the founder, Walt Disney is the founder of that Disneyland. And what he says? That the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Many people talk tall, but do nothing. Now, what I am trying to tell you? If you have not drawn a schedule for today's rest of the work, morning is over, afternoon is over, or whenever you see, rest of the day, do a schedule immediately. Do a schedule for the coming year, do a schedule for tomorrow, organize your studies. If you are playing, also organize your play. If you have some entertainment to take or watch a cinema or listen to music or whatever it is, organize yourself. That is what Walt Disney says. Just by talking it will not work. Oh, Kariva, that is not the way. You have to do it. Do it immediately. That is what is needed. your time is limited, so don't waste. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple computers and all that, iPhones, and such a marvelous entrepreneur and all that, he says your time is limited, everybody's time is limited. How many days in the world you have? You don't have unlimited days. Before the examination, you don't have unlimited days. For everybody, 24 hours is one day, for nobody has 28 hours. So, time is limited everywhere. So, if you waste it, you waste it, you can't get back, it is gone. One day earlier would have been too early, one day late would have been too late, today was the time. This is what Napoleon Bonaparte says. He is referring to a particular incident. I do not want to get into great details of history, but as I have told you right from the beginning, I am a teacher of history, so I will draw some examples from history, it is but natural. Napoleon Bonaparte lost the Egyptian campaign, he lost it, and he reached France on a particular date. And then what happened is that day in the National Assembly, his younger brother was the Speaker of the Assembly or the Chairman of the Assembly, National Assembly. And there are certain historical incidents, and that day he became a director of the French Republic, and later on he became the monarch and the emperor of the French. Now, if he had come one day earlier, he would have never become the emperor of Napoleon, would have never become the emperor of the French. If he had come later also, he would not have become the emperor of French. So, he says later on that was the day. He did not know that was the day, but he arrived at right time. Doing right thing at the right time by the right person is what makes you successful. So, look at these three in simple words: opportunities do not always repeat themselves. What Napoleon was trying to tell you was that opportunities do not repeat themselves. Punctuality gives you a head start. Imagine that you are on a race. If you start before the fire goes, then what will you will become disqualified. The umpires will disqualify you. You cannot run that race, or even if you win, nobody will give you the prize. If you start little late, others have started earlier at the right time, then what happens? Your likely of winning the race is less. So, if you start in time, you get a head start. That is what is necessary. So, punctuality gives you a head start. Time management helps you to prioritize your task. You have to 10 things to do. Say you have to study mathematics in the morning, you have planned. You have a music class to attend. You have to go to the market to get something. You have given time to your friend to come and do little gossiping, gupsap. Then you have to decide which are important ones. If you do not prioritize 1, 2, 3, 4, number 1 is this, number 2 is this, number 3 is this, then what will happen is that important thing will not be done, unimportant thing will be done. Gupsap with the friends will happen, but mathematics may not happen, your study may not happen. Now, you are a student, study is more important for you than gupsap or gossiping. So, you have to prioritize. Even in companies, in organizations, prioritizing is very important. Without that, we never meet the target. It boosts our productivity. If you are an organized person, you can do more things. You can be more productive. It will boost your productivity. Effective time management allows you to do more things. I need not give further example. Meet targets. It helps you to improve your concentration. It reduces your stress. Why it reduces your stress? Because you know that you will be able to do it in time. You need not take tension. But if you are not meeting the daily target, then it will improve your tension. You have not studied and the examination is right on the doorway, then it will increase your tension. Don't allow your tension to grow. Do things in time. Procrastination or the habit of deferring tasks can have very negative results. Procrastination is a big disease with so many people. Unless the thing is at their doorstep, I will do it tomorrow. I have enough time to do. Then what happens is that work piles up and you will not be able to do it. Procrastination is a big disease with many people. It becomes a habit of deferring, postponing things. And once you start postponing things, what happens is that the number of works that you have to do increases and ultimately you will not be able to do it. Good time management actually gives you more time. So, these are the points. Let me tell you in simple Odia few important points. I cannot repeat everything that I told you in Odia. I hope that you have understood what I said, but let us say a few words in Odia. Punctuality कहले समयानुवर्तिता, निज समय को सम्मान देवा एवं अन्य समय को सम्मान देवा, एटा होची तार मूल मंजी कथा जे आमे निजर समय को सम्मान देवा अन्य समय को सम्मान। जन शिक्षक जदि 10 मिनिट डेरी आसिले से क्लास रे जदि 30टा पिला अछंती से 30 जन पिलांकर 10 मिनिट हेले 300 मिनिट नष्ट कले, निजर 10 मिनिट नष्ट कले। ये होची समय नष्टर उदाहरण। एभली समय नष्ट आमे करिबा नै। पंक्चुअल हवा अर्थ होची निजको संगठित करिबा, निजको डिपेंडेबल रखिबा, जे तम ऊपर लोक विश्वास रखिबे जे ये कहिछि माने बाबू ये निश्चित भाव में करिवो, ए समय रे आसीबे एवं तमर जो प्रोफेशन अच्छे तुम जो पेशा रे अछ सेही पेशार जो लक्षण अच्छी जड़े नर्स जदि ठीक समय इंजेक्शन नदब, ड्रिप दिहूँ ड्रिप सरीगला पवन चलीगला ता सिस्टम भितर को ये बहु क्षति घटी पारे। तेणु से आमर जो पेशा रे अच्छी गोटे पेशादार व्यवहार समय अनुवर्तितता गोटे पेशादार व्यवहार भितर जाए। तेणु जड़े लोक जिते बिजी थे से बहु कथा करने समय पाए। गोटे असंगठित लोक केबेले समय को संगठन कर परिबनी, समय को संगठन करिवार बहुत आवश्यकता रही। पंक्चुअलिटी कहले केवल ठीक समय पहुँचवा बा ठीक समय कामटा करदेवा सेतिकी नुह, खाली ठीक समय पहुँचवाटा सेतिकी नुह। आमे जहाँ कथा देइछे जो काम सारिबा बोली कहिछे से काम को सारिबार आवश्यकता रही। समय गड़ी चले, समय आउ थरे ताकू धरि परिबनी। जो मुहूर्तटा चलीगला से चिरंतन काल पई चलीगला। तेणु से ही मुहूर्त आम जहाँ करवा कथा जदि न करवा आ भविष्य करवाटा बहुत कष्ट हो। कहीं समयानुवर्तित हवा सार कहते, मास्टर कहते, बापा कहते, माँ कहते, गुरुदेव कहते, नाई 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 से सब कहते बहुत भल कथा कहते से माने, किंतु निज स्वार्थरे समयानुवर्तिता अवलंबन करवा। आमे जदि समयानुवर्तिता अवलंबन करिपरिबा नहीं, आमे गोटे सफल व्यक्तित्व हो पारिबा नहीं। गोटे सफल व्यक्तित्व हेले समयानुवर्तिता को जीवनर व्रत भाव में ग्रहण करने को हम। तेणु यहाँ है बहुत बड़ कथा। एवं कौन हम जदि रेसटा बाजिब गोटे छोट बंदूक धरते ब्लैंक फायरटा करेंगे, जमी ब्लैंक फायर करेंगे दौड़ आरंभ हो। तुम जब आगुरी दौड़ा आरंभ करदेल ताल तुम डिस्क्वालिफाइड हेल। तुम जब टे डेरी आरंभ कल सी आगुआ आरंभ पलैगला, सी फास्ट हो तुम फास्ट हो, बुझल कि। तेणु ये जो गोटे कंपिटिशन जुगरे ठीक समय जमी बंदूक फुटला दौड़ खो, जदि दौड़ अच्छ तुम्हें टाइम मैनेजमेंट करवा है जदि ठीक शिखिगला ताले बेसी कथा कर जो लक्ष्य रखाई से धार्य लक्ष्य को पाखे पहुँची पार एवं तुम निजर कंसंट्रेशन भी बढ़, टेंशन कम हम। कारण जो जिनस कर ऑर्गेनाइज नुह एवं से बाकी बाकी रही चलती तुम निज टेंशन बढ़ी। सेमतिया आउ किसी लोक गोटे बदभ्यास थाए ए थाऊ देखा ये जो देखा काली करदेवानी आज ना कौन है। अनेक जगह तुम सांग मैंने भी कहते आज छाड़दे, आज छाड़देव काली करदेव नहीं, ସାର୍ ତ କହିଛନ୍ତି ସୋମବାର, ଆଜି ତ ଶୁକ୍ରବାର ହେଇଛି, ହାତରେ ଆହୁରି 2 ଦିନ ରହିଲାଣି। ଏଇଭଳିଆ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଆପ୍ରୋଚ୍ କରନ୍ତି ଜିନିଷକୁ, ଏଇଭଳିଆ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଆଟିଟ୍ୟୁଡ଼୍ ରଖନ୍ତି, ସେମାନେ ଶେଷରେ ଦେଖନ୍ତି ଯେ ଏମିତିଆ ବାକିଆ କାମ ପାହାଡ଼ ଭଳିଆ ଗଦା ହେଇଗଲାଣି ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ କେବେ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ୍ କରିପାରିବେନି। ସେଥିରୁ ଯଦି ବଞ୍ଚିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛ ତାହେଲେ ଯେଉଁ ଦିନର କାମ ସେଇଦିନ କର। ଏବଂ ଆମେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଆଡ଼କୁ ଯିବା। ସମୟ ବିଷୟରେ ଏତିକି କହିଲି। ତାପରେ ଆମେ ନେକ୍ସଟ ପଏଣ୍ଟ ହେଉଛି କ୍ଲିନଲିନେସ୍। ଆସନ୍ତା କ୍ଲାସରେ ଆଲୋଚନା କରିବା କ୍ଲିନଲିନେସ୍। ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ।